Okay guys, so it is gallery opening day. It is Saturday. I am on my way to the gallery. It is almost 2 o'clock. The gallery doesn't technically open until 5. Our grand opening is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's not technically time, but I told them I would be there early. Told them I would be there at 2. It is currently 1:53 and I'm on my way. I am hot. It is nice outside, but I'm worried that I'm going to be sweating. I thought about stopping by the drugstore because I need lash glue, because I'm also worried that my lash band will come up. But we're not going to worry about it. If I see later on that might be happening, I may run out real quick. One, get me some deodorant, because your girl's getting hot, and it's becoming obvious. But I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of lifting with my arms. We'll see. But I'm hot already. My AC is on full blast right now, and I'm actually now I'm not really hot. I'm actually kind of cold, but I'm afraid to turn down my AC because I don't want to get hot and sweaty. So I'm trying to cool off my underarms, and hopefully my boobs don't sweat. God, I forgot to put on deodorant. Maybe I will run by the drugstore real quick. I don't fucking know. Maybe if I notice that I'm getting hot, I'll just run to the bathroom and, wipe down. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Because I don't really want to walk into the drugstore looking like this, because people are going to be like, why are you going? But, that's my life. Really? You're going to go in front of me, and then you're going to go, 20 miles an hour. Cool. But other than that, I think I'm pretty prepared. It's exciting. It's a big day. I'm wearing my Fashion Nova dress. I thought it was going to be colder. That's why I got this dress, because I thought, it's March. It's just the very beginning of March. It's probably still going to be cold. We're probably not going to get that nice, warm spring weather yet. So I might as well wear something that I'm not going to get cold in. But now I'm worried that I'm going to get too hot in this. But like I said, we'll see how the night progresses. I've got little pasties on my boobies, my little nipple covers, so, because this dress is very, very low cut. If you watch my Fashion Nova haul, it is very low cut. But I do have precautions, and also it is very high cut as far as the slit in the dress goes. So I do have on little volleyball shorts, is technically I think what they're supposed to be used for, but I had to get them for dance when I was in dance in high school, because we would do dance numbers and dresses and skirts, so they wanted us to have something obviously besides just our underwear. So I have these left over from dance many years ago. So I just decided to pop them on because they're black. So, I have some volleyball shorts that are bright and multicolored, but I chose the black ones just because I thought that was a little bit more classier in case someone sees them. But yeah, I decided to put those on just in case, we have a little slip. So I'm covered on, my top end and my bottom end as far as possible wardrobe malfunctions. I don't think, I'm going to say this now, and then the whole night my arms are going to be up in the air. I don't think I'm going to have to lift my arms above my head, or, in a way that people can see possible pit stains going on. I didn't think about it before I rushed to leave the house, but, yeah. Hopefully the construction workers aren't working today. I don't know if I told you this yesterday or not, or technically last week, because that's when you'll be seeing this vlog. But I was because they told us to wear something nice the other day, so I did. I wore my denim dress. I told you guys all about that. But I was getting out of my car, and there's where I park, right behind where I park, they're building luxury apartments back there, so there's a lot of construction going on. I swear to you, every single construction worker that worked over there that saw me catcalled me. And that has never happened to me before. Like, not just being catcalled by, like, God, I thought they were pulling me over. And not just, like, catcalling, like, I've never been catcalled in general. You know, not just from, like, a group of men, but in general, I have never been catcalled. I have had my fair share of men who will just stare me down from across the room, but I have never had someone, you know, openly say something about me. Until yesterday. And it's not like they were, like, you know, yelling, like, nice tits or, you know, whatever, but they were, like, hooting and hollering at me. That's a southern term, if you don't know what that means. They were hooting and hollering at me. So, hopefully they're not there today, because I'm gonna give them a real show, I guess. But, I have my shoes in the passenger seat, because I didn't want to drive with, like, freaking, like, 4-inch, like, high heels. But those are the highest heels that I have that will go with this dress, and this dress is still too long. I'm a short person. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I'm like 5 foot. Technically, I'm 5'3" 3/4. But I like to round to 5'4". You know, makes me seem a little bit taller. But technically, I'm 5'3" 3/4. So I'm short. I don't have long legs. I have a very short torso. But anyway, I'm a very short person, so even with my highest heels, this dress is still too long. And so I was worried about tripping over the dress, but also the shoes that I'm wearing are very slippery. So those are the highest heels that I have, but they're very slippery on hardwood flooring. And so I was worried, because the whole gallery is hardwood floor. None of it is carpet. And so I was worried that I was going to fall directly on my ass. And I didn't want to do that. So I was looking up, you know, life hacks, like how do I make my shoes not fucking kill me? And they're like, oh, just, you know, sandpaper it down. I don't fucking have sandpaper. And I tried using a nail file. I tried going outside with some, whatchamacallits, with some, on the concrete, and, you know, scraping my feet against the concrete and see if that worked. Oh, they just checked to see if the gallery's open. It's not open yet. It's open at 5. But yeah, so thank you. Here we go. Bump, bump. So I tried to go outside, scrape my feet around on the concrete. That didn't fucking work. Yeah, they're still here. God damn it. Oh well. So I used hot glue. So I hot glued the bottom of my shoes, and now I'm here. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit, but it did work. So hot glue gun hack, you know, not the stupid ones that Jenna Marble has tried, but I hot glued the bottom of my shoe. You can kind of see it. There it is. It worked. So, you know, if you don't have sandpaper and you don't have a nail file, that'll work. And you've tried everything, hot glue works. Don't put like a thick layer, you know, put a thin layer on it, because otherwise it will just peel off. But that's my life hack for today. Now I gotta go face these workers, so pray for me, y'all.
That is so cool.
It's all made out of papers. This one has about probably 7,000 sheets of paper. It took about 3 months to make. And it's all the papers are carved. They're all made into a block of paper. They're glued individually and then carved. And then painted to get the design. So this one is Andy Warhol. And I decided to give him a new product, Cheez-Its, instead of the Campbell soup. And of course, he's got a lot of other hidden signals all around, which is a rat eating away, you know, the Cheez-Its. He's got a heart in here, which he used to collaborate with Basquiat. And that heart is like a tattoo he did with Basquiat. He's got a kiss in his neck. That's from Marilyn Monroe. And then, of course, he's got my logo in the back, which, you know, I normally like the sign with the swirls, and that usually represents movement.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Do you have your burger with you?
Yes, I have the burger.
Oh, yeah. So I feel confident enough to demonstrate.
Yeah,
the
to
burger.
do the burger.
That scared me. I've tried it a couple times, and Felix has showed me, but it's
Well, this one is done in 2 different ways. This one, the head is going in this direction, and the body is going in this direction.
Very cool.
Hey guys, so it is late, hence the darkness in my appearance and everything, although my appearance does not detail the time, but It is 10:30 right now at night. I've had a very eventful evening, and sorry, I almost ran into that pole there. I've had a very eventful evening that I thought I would finally get a chance to relax and sit down and talk to you guys about my night. So Yuna is here playing with her Scrump. She loves that toy. I've been packing. I feel like we are in pretty good shape as far as packing goes. I still have a little bit of concern, but I think it's gonna be okay. If anything, we'll have to run to Target tomorrow night and get some more boxes. But for the most part, I think we're pretty set. Both of my dressers are empty. My closet's empty. So all of my stuff is pretty much out. The kitchen is like 95% empty. The only thing left in the kitchen is just stuff that we're still using. So like our utensils and cups and things like that are still in the kitchen. And obviously the food is still there. We'll move the food on Saturday. Lord. But anyway, so sorry I went off track, but I noticed earlier tonight when I was feeding all the animals that I was feeding, all the animals usually get very excited when it's time to eat. The cats will, you know, run up to me and start meowing. The puppy will run up to me and, you know, be super excited and anxious about getting food. And tonight when I was feeding all the animals, I noticed that Mr. J, he usually sits, you know, on top of the cabinets above the fridge. And that's like Mr. J and Harley's sleeping place because that's where they went to get away from Puppy once they realized they could get up there. So I noticed when I was feeding all the cats, you know, Harley was on top of the fridge. She was ready to eat. She was meowing at me. Crow was ready to eat. Martin was ready to eat. Yuna's always ready to eat. But Mr. J stayed up in his bed on top of the cabinets. And I thought, okay, well, you know, maybe he's just, you know, tired, maybe he's not hungry. And I've noticed for the past few days that Micah said that he came in and laid down with him, lay at his feet last night for about an hour. I noticed that he hasn't come down from his, you know, perch above the cabinets or on top of the cabinets. And I noticed that he hasn't come down often. Usually if Yuna is in her crate, Mr. J will come down and roam around and play with Crow and, you know, be really energetic and at least, you know, come down and say hi. And I noticed that yesterday he was a little sparse. He wasn't around that often. Micah said that he came and laid down with him by his feet and, you know, for about an hour or so and then got up and then, you know, left. And so when I was feeding him tonight, I noticed that he was still up there. He wasn't coming down. He wasn't interested in the food. And I thought, you know, something's not right. Because at least last night he was still at least interested in the food. Like I would, you know, fill up their bowl and, you know, animals are very good at recognizing the sound that their food makes. And so Mr. J at least, you know, hopped down onto the fridge and smelt around his food. He didn't really eat it all that much. He maybe nibbled a little bit, but he wasn't super interested in it. And sometimes he's like that. Sometimes, you know, Harley is like that. Sometimes they can get a little bit picky with their food. And usually when that happens, I'll just throw in a can of wet food. And then that gets them really excited. And they're really excited to eat it. And they'll eat it. And then I switch back to dry food. And then they do fine. Sometimes they just like a little, you know, variety in their diet. But I noticed that Mr. J was not interested at all in eating. And then once all the animals were fed, once Yuna had finished eating, once the other cats had finished eating, I put Yuna in her crate because I knew that she would get too excited and the cats wouldn't do what I wanted them to do if she was out. So I put Yuna in her crate and then I got the treat box. The little, I have like a whole, it's like a jar, but it's like a plastic thing. It's got a screw lid on it. Anyway, they sell them at every pet store, but it's a big container of cat treats, and the cats know the sound of the cat treat thing. I shake it up and they come running. So I tried to do that, and all the cats except for Mr. J came. And my camera's dying, so I'll be back in a second. So now I'm on my iPhone because my camera's dying. And Puppy, of course, is always with me. And do you like these pretty flowers? We got them at Harris Teeter. They're my favorite type of flowers. They're lilies. Tiger lilies specifically are my favorite type of flower. But those are super pretty too. I believe those are tiger lilies. Because they've got like the spots and stuff on them. Okay, I know you're really excited that I'm home. But anyway, so yeah, so I shook up the container of cat treats. All of the cats except for Mr. J came running. Mr. J did not even bat an eye. He didn't even lift his head. He just stayed laying in his bed on top of the cabinets. And so I was like, okay, well that's really not like him, because usually he is all for treats. So I eventually coaxed him down, and I got him on, you know, the main cabinet area, the countertop area. And I got out some wet food. I put all the cats in the back room and closed them in there because I just wanted, you know, I didn't want all the cats to bombard Mr. J, because I just wanted to, you know, get a close look at him and everything. And when he hopped down off the fridge, I noticed that he looked very skinny. It looked like he had lost weight. And it's really hard to tell with Mr. J how much weight he has or doesn't have, because he's very, very fluffy and very hairy. But I could just tell immediately that he looked different and he did not look well. He looked tired. He looked, like I said, he looked like he had lost weight, and a significant amount of weight. And so I got him on the countertop and I got out some wet food and I spooned out a little bit and put it in his bowl, and he smelled it. And he just turned his nose up at it. And I said that was, you know, I thought that was really weird, because he never turns up wet food. He loves wet food. That's one of their favorite, you know, special dinners or special treats that they get every so often. So for him to turn up wet food was definitely alarming. For him to turn up treats, you know, was also a big warning sign. So I'm one of those people who, once I notice something is wrong, sorry, my phone is also dying, but I can plug that up, so no big deal. If I can find the cord for it. Ooh, okay. I'm one of those people who, once I notice that something is wrong and something is not right, I jump on it. I have to do it. It, you know, is better to be proactive and overreact than it is to underreact and something go wrong. Especially, I think I got that for a few reasons. One, especially with Lucy, not being there with her immediately when she started to show signs of going blind and going deaf. That was a big thing. And also, we had a cat, John and Debbie had a cat that they rescued a long time ago. And he was there when I was living with them, and his name was Jeffrey. That's part of the reason why Mr. J has his name, is because he looked a lot like Jeffrey Mittens, which was their cat. He was very big and very fluffy, and had very similar personalities, and so Mr. J is named after Jeffrey and also after the Joker. And of course, you know, the Joker and Harley Quinn. Yuna is just wanting all the attention right now. This video is not about you right now, sweetie. I'm sorry you are not the center of attention right now. So anyway, but Jeffrey Mittens, when we went to the beach, me, John, and Debbie, and Melissa, we all went to the beach one summer a long time ago, and I noticed that Jeffrey was not doing well. Oh, excuse me, like I said, it's late and I'm tired and it's past my bedtime, but Jeffrey was not doing well. He had been very sparse as well. He was hiding in closets, and he was an outdoor cat, and so he would go out and he wouldn't come back for a long time. He stopped eating. We just assumed that, you know, he was getting food elsewhere because he was an outdoor cat, so we just thought maybe he is, you know, hunting and eating, you know, in the wild. I gotta take my glasses off because the glare is driving me crazy, so I'm sorry for how I look like this. But anyway, and so I told Debbie, because Debbie was leaving a day after everyone else was leaving because she had to work one more day. So I told Debbie, I said, you know, you might want to take Jeffrey to the vet and just, you know, get him checked up before we leave. So, you know, me, John, and Melissa all go down to the beach, and Debbie takes him to the vet. And Jeffrey, and I picked up Jeffrey, because, you know, I was looking at him and I was petting him and whatever, and I picked him up and I noticed that he was so light. He was, I think when Debbie took him to the vet, he was like, I don't know, like 3-4 pounds. So he was extremely emaciated. And so I noticed, you know, today when I picked up Mr. J that he was also very light. And so anyway, so we were at the beach, me, John, and Melissa, and Debbie calls us or texts us and says that they found that Jeffrey had some kind of kidney issue, and that, you know, it is really progressed and there's not really much they could do for him, and they ended up putting him down that day. So, you know, there was that, and, you know, with Lucy and everything, I've just learned to be very proactive when it comes to my animals and when it comes to myself. When you know your body, when you know your animals and things like that, you know when something is wrong. And I knew that something was wrong with Mr. J, and I said, okay, enough's enough, we're taking him to the vet. Or I'm taking him to the vet because Mike is not here because he's at work. The biggest factor that made me, like, ultimately, I'm so sorry that she's, like, being so distracting. Yuna, honey, calm down, please. Thank you. The number one deciding factor, like, him not eating, I was already, you know, like, okay, I know I have to take him to the vet, but I was gonna, you know, call, make an appointment, you know, do all that stuff. But the one thing that made me decide, no, I'm taking him right now, is when he turned his nose up at the food, he went to jump off the counter. And as a cat, cats are very, you know, agile. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Athletic, I guess. You know, honey, can you stop doing that? No, ma'am. Thank you. Cats are very athletic, you know, so they jump very well and they land very well. They land on their feet usually. Sorry, that was my thumb. Well, Mr. J went to go jump off the counter, and his feet, he hit the floor and his feet just slid, and he just, like, basically just, like, planted on the ground. Not very gracefully. He just slid, and, you know, he just kind of flopped on the ground. And I knew then, I was like, okay, something's not right. Something is definitely not right. I don't know what's wrong with him, but I need to get it figured out now. So I called Micah because I was texting him and I was like, Mr. J's not, you know, I don't think he's feeling well. You know, maybe we should take him to the vet tomorrow, whatever. Micah was like, okay. So we were texting back and forth, so I knew that he was still available for me to call him because he gets, you know, breaks every now and then during work. The main times that I can talk to him are usually around 7 and around 9 o'clock is usually when I get to talk to him, because after then I'm asleep. But I was texting him and then I called him and I said, I'm taking Mr. J to the vet. I was like, something's not right with him. I'm going to take him to the vet. I'll let you know what the vet says. He said, okay. So I got Mr. J's crate down, got him in the crate. He was so defeated, I guess you could say. Like, he didn't put up a fight, he didn't meow, and usually Mr. J is also a very vocal cat. If he's in the crate, especially if we go for car rides, he meows the entire time. He doesn't like car rides. He didn't meow at all going to the vet, which, like I mentioned, which is very unusual for him. And when we got to the vet, because it was dark by the time I had left, so when we got to the vet, they got me settled in a room, and I looked and I noticed that Mr. J had peed in the crate, which is also very unlike him. He never is, you know, he never uses the bathroom outside the litter box. He's very, very good about going to the litter box and using the bathroom. But he peed in the crate, so I got that cleaned up, and they gave me some Lysol spray and everything, so that was nice of them. So I got all of that cleaned up, and I could just tell that he was not feeling well, and I talked to the vet tech and told her what was going on. And she said, well, the best option that we have right now, because she was asking me all these questions about his urinating and his bathroom habits, because I had mentioned, that he wasn't eating or drinking really, and then that the urinating in his crate was something that he doesn't usually do. So she kind of went on the role of maybe it's like a stomach issue, or a bowel issue. But I told her, because she was asking me all these questions, like, do you notice if he strains while using the bathroom? Does he not use the bathroom at all? And I just wanted to be like, lady, I don't watch my cats pee. 1, I have 5 animals to take care of. 2, I have 4 of them are cats. I don't watch every time they go to the bathroom. I have other stuff that I've got to do, especially this week. And so I was like, no, I don't really, know his bathroom habits right now. She said, okay, well, since, we don't have a lot of information on that, the best that, we can do as far as a diagnosis goes is to do blood work and do an x-ray. And I said, okay, fine. So I go back to the waiting room. I sit there for what feels like forever. It was probably about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, but I finally get a call back to the room. I come in, the vet's there. And he asked me, he says, have you noticed Mr. J, sneezing, any runny nose, any discharge from the eyes? And I said, not really. And he was like, okay, well, his x-ray shows that he has pneumonia. And I was like, what? It threw me for a loop. Like, that was the last thing that I thought would come out of his mouth was pneumonia. I don't even know, like, how he got pneumonia, but because I walked in the room and the vet wasn't in there yet, and I saw on their, screen monitor thing that there were Mr. J's x-rays. And I was looking at them, and I was trying to make sense of them, and I was like, nothing looks wrong to me. Obviously I'm not, like, a trained veterinarian, so I'm not trained to look at stuff, but, like, foreign bodies, like when Yuna had, eaten the nickel and the dime, or penny or nickel or whatever it was, they showed us the x-rays, and foreign bodies, glow, basically. They show up white, and they're very obvious on x-rays. So I didn't see anything like that. There wasn't any foreign bodies besides what's supposed to be there, and so I was like, nothing looks wrong. And the vet, showed me, like, well, here's his pneumonia, and then over here he's got some bronchitis, and I'm like, okay. I was like, well, what do I do about that? So he said, the vet told me that since Mr. J hasn't been eating, they want to keep him overnight, make sure that he gets some fluids because he also hasn't been drinking, and then make sure that he gets some food in him, because he said that if Mr. J goes too long without eating, that something in his stomach and muscles or something weird, I don't know. Basically, if he goes too long without eating, the pneumonia could move to his liver, and obviously that causes a much greater issue. So they wanted to keep him overnight. I said, great, do what you need to do. So obviously he's there right now. And I asked the guy, well, actually the guy left because he's like, do you want to see him before, you have to leave? And I said, sure. So they brought Mr. J back to me, and I didn't get to see because I thought the vet was going to go back and get Mr. J and bring him back to me and continue to talk to me about Mr. J, but he didn't. So the vet tech came back, and she's super nice, but she came back with Mr. J, and I still had some questions, because usually the vets will explain it and then ask if you have any questions, but he didn't do that. So I asked the vet tech lady, my questions that I had for the vet, and because she might know them too, but she didn't. So she went and asked the vet for me, but I asked how Mr. J could get pneumonia or bronchitis. I understand, like, usually in people, like, it's due to, like, the flu or, like, getting sick previously that kind of develops into, like, bronchitis or pneumonia, but I don't know, it was just really weird. So I asked how Mr. J could get pneumonia, and she said that after she, came back from asking the vet, she said that the main cause for pneumonia, usually in, I guess at least in pets, is aspiration. So inhaling something like food or saliva or pretty much anything that should not be inhaled, inhaling water while he's drinking, could cause pneumonia. She said there also is a possibility that it could be bacterial, meaning, which led into my second question, meaning that if it is bacterial, there is a chance that Harley, Martin, Crow, and Yuna could also get pneumonia or bronchitis or both. I don't know. So we are keeping a close eye on all of our animals. So far they are all doing well, obviously except for Mr. J, but Yuna is Yuna. She's her very excited puppy self. There she is. I thought she was over there for some reason. But she is doing just fine. Harley is doing fine. She was very excited for dinner tonight. She was meowing and everything. Crow, also very fine, also very hungry. Martin is Martin, you know, he's kind of excited for food, but at the same time, like, he'll eat half of his food and then he's like, alright, I'm done, whatever. So all of them have not been abnormal, except for Mr. J. So hopefully that means that, you know, it's just an aspiration thing and they'll get it solved and corrected and he'll be back to his normal, usual self. But that has been my night. I have been so busy with so many other things, and this is just like one other thing that has to be piled on to my just list of other things that I have to deal with. And it is very late and I'm very tired, so I'm going to definitely go to sleep. I don't think I'll end this vlog yet just because we still have tomorrow. And I want to show you guys the room when me and Micah get done painting it. So yeah, but I've gotten a lot done this week. I think that, you know, I've gotten what needs to be done. Hopefully tomorrow we'll kind of just finalize everything and we'll get a good idea of what else needs to be done before Saturday. But yeah, so I have had a very busy week. I've had a very busy day. I've had a very busy night, and so anyway, I'm going to sleep now. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so I am at the house. Micah is on his way. I got here a little bit earlier so I could get the cats settled in, except for Mr. J, of course. Also, excuse the breakout that's happening on my face. It's slowly going away. But Mr. J, as you guys know, is still at the vet. He is there for a 24-hour watch. That damn thing keeps beeping right there, that one. But anyway, so I'm here at the house. Micah's coming. All the cats are here except for Mr. J. The vets have not called me yet about him, so we are still awaiting, you know, news on him. I'm gonna set you guys down here in the cabinet. And it's dark, so I'm sorry about that. But, oh boy, it has been quite the week, quite the weekend. I woke up this morning with an incredibly sore throat. Don't know why, don't know how I got it. Sometimes I wake up with a sore throat just because, you know, I am a mouth breather when I sleep. But last night, you know, my nose was very clear, and I know that I slept breathing through my nose. So usually if I, you know, breathe through my mouth in my sleep, it dries out my throat, and sometimes I can wake up with a sore throat. But no, this morning I just woke up with a sore throat just because. So that's great. So I've been battling with that all morning and with the stuffy nose, and because this morning, it's not even that it's stuffy, it's like if I go inside or if I go outside and then I come back in, my nose starts running. And so I've been blowing my nose all day, and like I can breathe through it just fine, but it feels just congested, you know? So I just feel like poop. So that's always great and fun, but Micah is on his way here, and we are going to paint that room. And then we are going to go out and run some more errands. We got to get a step ladder so that we can reach like the top up there. Where we paint the room, we can reach up towards the ceiling and make sure that we get around the trim and everything. But let me show you my kitchen so far. So, well, here's this cabinet slowly coming along. This is just a big mess. I got this cute thing at Home, the At Home store. I'm gonna put more treats in it, obviously, but it's super cute. So, this little treat holder for Yuna, you know, all this cool stuff. I'm gonna put my Keurig right there. And I got this thing at the At Home store as well, and I'm gonna put all the K-cups in here and put like sugar and creamer and whatever in those slots. And then I've got this cabinet full of my teas and miscellaneous. This cabinet full of nice, you know, serving dishes. I've got this cabinet that I have tried to organize with pots and lids and stuff like that. Some more pots down there. This thing that's really cool, you just push it and it swivels out. So that's really neat. We have another little swivel thing in this one. We've got like a swivel thing. So that's cool. Yeah, so I've just been busy, you know, unpacking things, making sure things are in order. I gotta figure out what I want to do with these cups. I think I'm gonna put them, because we gotta use this cabinet space for food as well. I think I'm going to save like this cabinet and oh yeah, I can put my cups in there, and like this cabinet and stuff for food. I may end up moving like this stuff into this cabinet, like up there, because I'm not going to use them that much, and put food in this cabinet as well, because we don't have like an actual pantry for our food. We have, sorry, I got these big pillows too at the At Home store. But we have this, which is our laundry room, so our washer and dryer goes in here. But this is all we have as far as like pantry goes, so I can put like cereal maybe in here. I'll put all of like our Ziploc bags and our like tin foil and all of those things that come in those long rectangular cube things. But yeah, we don't really have any pantry space, so I gotta make sure that I utilize the this space, you know, well, so I don't run out of space for food. But yeah, so I'm going to continue doing what I have been doing, which is getting stuff organized. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so sorry I look like a hot mess. My throat is still killing me, y'all. Everything that has gone wrong can go wrong. In 1 second, Yuna's chewing on something. What are you chewing on? But anyway, Mr. J is doing well. He is actually ready to come home. So Micah is taking his mother home. She just came over and had dinner with us. So he is taking her home, and once he gets back, we will go and pick Mr. J up. Puppy is here. As you can see, she is doing very well here in the new house. And 1 second. My grandmother made us some dinner and brought that over because she watched Yuna for us while the movers were moving stuff, and then she brought dinner over when she brought Yuna over, so we had some of that to eat. And Micah's mother's bringing us dinner tomorrow, so we are being well fed, which is great because I haven't eaten like a good meal in a long time. Oh, you can like see the reflection of the light from the tinfoil. Anyway, oh, I forgot we have pie in here. Oopsies. But right now I'm just trying to get the kitchen organized, trying to get stuff together. I think it's going to be another long night, but luckily tomorrow I can sleep in some. So that is what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so Mike and I are going to go get Mr. J. We'll probably bring him back here, and then we are going to go back out and look for furniture. So we've got 4 things, basically the same things, 2 of each of the same. I want a new desk for upstairs. Here, let me show you around the house. So this is our kitchen, obviously. So there's our leftover dinner that I'm putting away. But obviously it is a mess just because we have been unpacking, and also we had dinner. So it's our fridge. Some pictures are underneath those towels. Yuna's little eating station. Fun stuff there. Here's our little pantry. And it's also, well, this is our pantry and this is like our laundry room in one. Here's our outdoor stuff all in here. Here's Kit Kat doing so good. Come in here, we've got living room furniture. We're going to unplug that TV and plug up that TV. So one of the things we need to get is an entertainment stand, or a TV stand, or an entertainment system for that big TV. But we've got boxes, couch, you know, more boxes, cat tree, all this good stuff. So this is just the downstairs. I'll show you guys the upstairs later. I'll give you guys like a proper house tour, I guess, when we get stuff looking nice. But as of right now, stuff is kind of all over the place. But you need to get blinds for that room too, because there's just no blinds at all, and I feel like whenever I talk to myself, my neighbors are just watching me. But yeah, so we have been very busy. I have been running on very little sleep, and surprisingly it has not like crashed. Like, I'm doing pretty well. I am also very pleased with how Puppy is doing. She is also doing very well in the new house. She was very scared and very timid at first, but she has definitely opened up, and she is feeling pretty good. We'll see how it goes when we leave her here by herself, because obviously when me and Micah go out and run errands, we cannot take her with us. So we'll have to see how she does on her own, but hopefully the neighbors won't call the police complaining that we're like abusing our dog. But she has very severe separation anxiety, and if you have any idea on how to fix that, let me know, because I have no idea how to fix it. And it just, I thought it was just a puppy thing, you know, but no, she can't handle it whenever we're gone. So yeah, like I said, if you guys have any suggestions as far as, you know, what to do in order to not have her lose her sanity and not have us lose our sanity, that would be great. I'm trying to figure out where I decided to put food. Oh yeah. We really don't have that much space for food. We have one cabinet here. We have this cabinet here, which you can't really fit a whole lot of food items there. And then we have this cabinet here. I may put cereals in here and just move those cooking ingredients. But yeah, so as of right now though, we don't have a whole lot of space to put food, but we will manage. Ooh, these look yummy. My grandma also brought over some muffins for breakfast. I gotta put these in the pantry or in the closet, in the cabinet, or else the cats will definitely eat them. Sorry, you were super close to my face. I can hear Martin meowing upstairs, so I'm gonna go let him out. Oh boy, it has been quite the day, and surprisingly I'm not dead, but, and I mean that, and surprisingly I'm not like collapsing from exhaustion, but oh, things are going well. Oh, let me show you this room. Let me show you this room that we painted. So this is Micah's man cave. He is not too thrilled with the color. It is quite bright. It is quite orange. This wall, looking good. Those walls, well, they're very orange. So we may end up repainting them at some point in time, but not today, and not tomorrow, and not anytime, you know, relatively soon. But we also have my room back here, which has got stuff accumulating. I'm gonna move that Christmas tree eventually, but again, not right now. We'll do it later. But yeah, things are coming along pretty great, and I'm pretty happy about it. Oh yeah, I was gonna let Martin out. So come out, bud. You didn't finish eating your food. I'm glad you can jump up there. Now I know I can put your food up here. Yeah. So this is Micah's room until he gets his room settled. So all of his stuff is in here until we get everything with that room over there, you know, situated, and then he'll move all this stuff over there. But yeah, things are going well. I'm gonna let Crow out. I think he's ready to come back out. Look at him. You chilling up there, bud? He looks so small. Hey, hey, Stop eating the cat food. Here, let's take your box of toys downstairs. I'm gonna close this off because you're gonna go in the litter box area and I don't want you to do that. Crow, do you need to go potty? No? Okay, I'm gonna close this off. Good job, Una. Now I gotta find a place to put their food as well. But right now, we are going to go take your toys downstairs. So I got her big box, or her big, I guess it's kind of a box. It's like a square holder. Come on, babe. Come on. But hopefully Michael will be home soon and we will hurry up and go get Mr. J, bring him back here, go out, get everything we need done, come home and chill out. Because I am so tired. But you know that already by now. Where can I put this? Good question, Emily. Where can you put this? I don't freaking know. Put it over here for right now. I don't know where else to put it. I'll find a place for it eventually. It's gonna go there for right now. Yeah, go get your toys. Oh man. So, ta-da! We are officially moved in. We are not, well, I guess not technically. We still have stuff at the apartment that we need to go and get, but eventually we will get them. Man, I gotta find those Ziploc bags. I think, no, I didn't pack the big ones. Never mind. Oh, Micah called me. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.